This line is okay, but it's a 2r, and you got to put a minus 2r.
And then you subtract 2r from both sides, and you get 3r minus 5, and then minus equals negative 26, and then add 5 to both sides.
And so now everything is going to stay the same, except that should be a 3r, and in the end I get negative 7. Okay, get negative 7. Okay. Those of you who submitted your homework, I got that reported, but there hold on. There's a few issues that I want to go over. So have that homework out now, even if you submitted it. We're going to go through these problems just to make sure we know what we're doing. This is the hardest part of the chapter. Okay, dealing with just the variables. And some of you are still making mistakes, especially on the last few. So we're just going to go through here, be ready to answer questions. I'm going to call on different people. Okay, to see where you're at, and then learn from the first one to find the second one and keep going through there. All right? So as you take a look at this first one, solve this for x. All right, what can we do, Josh?
You want the answer?
I want this first step. I don't want the final answer. I want you to tell me how to do it. Put your hands down. I'll call on you because I want different people to see. I need to see who knows what.
Subtract b from both sides.
Subtract what?
B.
B. You subtract b because you identify the term with the x. Okay. Don't mess with that until it is by itself. So it means you might need to add or subtract something. You might need to add or subtract them. So subtract b, he said. All right, so I will do that. Minus b, minus b. Now tell me what to write, Josh.
Divide and by both sides.
Tell me what to write right down here.
Y subtracted by b equals mx.
Y minus b equals mx. All right, now that's a harder step than people realize. Sometimes you think if it just hits you, fine, but some people still struggle with that. All right, now do what?
And then divide m by both sides.
Now divide by m. Now here's what I'm going to try and have you do. I think this will be a little bit better. When I divide, I'm going to divide each piece by m. Now some of you divide the whole thing, and that's not incorrect at this point, but I'm going to divide each piece. So I get y divided by m minus b divided by m equals x. And I'm going to prefer you to write it like that. Now, if anybody has x equals y minus b over m, just like that, okay, that's okay for now. But we want to move to that next part. Okay, that's what you do. All right, so learn, so use that as a guide. All right, London, how about 18? Everybody look at it. We're solving for n. What do you think, London?
You subtract 1 by both sides.
Subtract 1. Good. And then tell me what to write.
A minus 1 equals 3n.
Good. A minus 1 equals 3n. Now do what?
You divide it by n.
Ooh, now we're solving for n.
Oh, wait, I mean 3.
Divided by 3. Now this is one, especially if it's a number, you should divide each piece by that. So you get a over 3. Just write that as minus 1/3 equals n. If it doesn't divide into it evenly, like 3 doesn't go into 1, it's not a whole number, just leave it. And some of you may recognize that a over 3 is the same. You can leave that, or that's the same as 1/3 a. I'd accept either one. Like I said, these are hard because you haven't done them in a while. All right, Brett, how about 19? What do you think?
PB divided by NR.
NR. So since I'm solving for T, everything here is written next to each other, which means they're being multiplied. So you're going to divide everything. So you're going to divide by NR. Oops. And so that gives me PV divided by NR equals T. And I'm going to flip that over. And that's all. This one isn't too bad. There's not a lot to it. Not a lot to it. Just that one step. All right, Amanda, how about 20?
Subtract m from each side.
Okay, solving for t, subtract m. Tell me what to write.
P equals r minus m.
Good, this one's a one-stepper. Okay, this was a one-stepper, that's it, done. Done. All right, as you look at this one, 21, solving it for t. Solving it for t, Connor.
So you're going to add r from both sides.
Okay. And tell me what to write.
Then you get m plus r equals t, and then you're gonna flip that around. T equals m plus r.
Good. All right, that's all we're gonna do for that one. Good. That's all you're gonna do for that one. All right, now 22 is almost the same as 19 right above it. Okay, you got the same initial starting point, except instead of solving for t, what are we solving for? We're solving for r. Okay, we're solving for r. So Preston, what do you think?
We divide n and t for what?
Good. Divide both of these by n and t, n and t. So PV divided by NT equals R, and I can flip it around for that one. Okay, so that'll be your answer. Got it? That'll be your answer. All right. 23, 24, okay, 25, a little bit harder here. Okay, you gotta make sure we're following, paying attention. All right, Caitlin, what do you think for 23? What do you think your first step is?
Minus 2b.
All right, what are we solving for?
I'm in minus 2a.
Good. If we're solving for B, you want to subtract 2a. Tell me what to write.
2b equals negative 2a minus c, or c minus 2a.
C minus 2a. Good. Now do what, Caitlin?
Add 2a.
No, what are we trying to get by itself?
b.
B. What's the only thing? You got look on the left-hand side. The only thing that's with it is the what? 2.
2.
Got to get rid of the 2. And the 2 and the B, since they're right next to each other, to multiply, what's the inverse of multiplication is
Division.
division. So when we divide by this 2 and divide all of those by 2. So it gives me B equals C over 2. Do the 2's, can I divide 2 by 2? Yeah, what's that give me? It gives me 1. So really, what's going to be left right here? It's going to be A. So it's C over 2 minus A. That would be your answer. C over 2 minus A.
If they rewrote it as 1/2 C,
Oh, I would do a backflip.
well, Zach was asking about that.
Yeah, if you wrote this as 1/2 C minus A, like that, I mean, whew. Yes, I would like that. But that would be great. All right, 24 has a little bit of, and some of you caught it. One thing you got to watch. All right, we're solving this one. Allie, what do you think here? First step.
Subtract 5p.
Okay, subtract 5p and tell me what to write.
9c equals p minus 5p.
Okay, this is the one case where these are like terms. This is the only problem like this, because like right here, C minus 2a, you can't combine those. These can actually be combined because they both have a p. So what do you think p minus 5p will become? Negative 4p. So you can write it as negative 4p. And I saw on some of you who turned yours in, you had negative 4p. All right, now last thing, Allie, divide by what?
9.
Divide by 9. And so I get C equals negative 4p divided by 9 because you can't divide 9 into 4. You just want to leave that. You just want to leave that. All right, Faith, look at 25. What are we solving for?
I don't know. I honestly don't. Oh, wait, we're on 25. Oh, yeah. So, I don't know.
What are we solving for? What's it say?
R.
R. So right here's my R. What do I have to move to get this by itself?
A next.
A and X. So since this is they're adding it, this is a positive, we're going to subtract AX, subtract AX. That gives you nothing, so you get R equals 7 minus AX, done. That's all you do. 7 minus AX. Okay. All right, now these last ones are the ones where I saw some mistakes. Morgan, back there in the back. I'm solving 26 for Y. Oops. What do I do first? What do you think?
Subtract 3.
Good. Subtract 3x, subtract 3x. Tell me what to write.
7y equals 2 minus 3x.
Okay, now what? Divide by 7, and I'm going to divide each piece by 7. Okay? Now that gives me y equals 7 doesn't go into 2, so write it as 2 sevenths. 7 doesn't go into 3, so write it as 3 sevenths x. Now for a problem like this, when you have an x and a y, I want you to write the x first. So write the very last step. Go ahead and make this y equals negative 3 sevenths x plus 2 sevenths. Okay? Do that one. All right, to save a little bit of time here, what I'm going to do is we're going to do a couple of these together. Just put these right on your homework. Put these right on your homework. So write this one down. Three x plus 4y equals negative 20. All right, we'll do it together. Christian, how about first step? Okay, I'll wait.
Okay, let me solve something, okay. So, minus 3x.
Okay. Tell me what to write then for the below there.
And, 4y equals negative 20 minus 3x.
Okay, good.
And then divide each side by 4.
When we do that, we're going to divide everything by 4. Now, if anything can be divided, I want you to divide it. So I want you to take a look, and if not, you leave it as a fraction.
So y equals negative 5 minus 3x over 4.
Yep, and you can also write that as 3/4 x. Okay, if you kept this through. Now, I am going to say one more thing. For these problems where we're solving for y, I want you to put the x first. Do negative 3/4 x minus 5. Okay, do that one. Do that one.
You have to do that on the test.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. All right, now the second one. Copy that down. Now, for all of these, we're solving for y.
Do the practice test.
Yeah.
Should I tell them to do what, Thursday?
Well,
And then we'll go over everything tomorrow.
I think so. I think we'll let you.
I think so.
It's 2.
It's Tuesday.
Like, when is the next month?
Hey, Joe, what do you think? First step.
Do try that.
In a separate sheet.
On a separate sheet.
Say that again?
Subtract 6x by the.
Good. Subtract 6x on both sides. And now just tell me what to write, Joe, here for the line underneath it, if you would.
2y equals 18 minus 6x.
2y equals 18 minus 6x. All right, everybody look at where we're at this point. Sam, from here, what do we do?
You divide every other number by 2.
Everything by 2. Good. Everything by 2, everything by 2, everything by 2. So I get y equals, I'll do the hard part, the y. What's left, Connor?
You got three, what did we get that? Y equals negative 3x plus 9.
Alright, I'm gonna take the extra step. That's perfect, but in this order, it would be 9 minus 3x. And then what he did, and sometimes people make this mistake, but he did it good. That negative must move with the 3. So when I reorder it, I make this negative 3x, and then this 9 is a positive. So don't just move the numbers and leave the sign in the middle. You can't do that. That minus sign, that negative moves wherever that 3 goes. So it's negative 3x plus 9 for that final answer. All right, good. All right, last one. Try this on your own. See what you come up with. Negative 12x minus 3y equals 15.
What's that?
No.
Thursday.
I did it for 1 honors over there. There's some mine spotters. I don't like it.
Evan, all right, let's see where you're at, Evan. I know you missed yesterday, but see if you've caught on to any of this. What do you think, first step?
Plus 12.
Make sure you say x as well, plus 12x. All right, now tell me what to write on the next line.
Negative 3y
Okay?
equals 15 plus 12x.
Okay, so far so good?
Add 3y.
No, we don't add. Okay, now at this point here, you got negative 3 times y, right? Divide by negative 3. This wants to be our last step, is when you get that 3y by itself, divide. So that gives me y equals 15 divided by negative 3 is negative 5. 12 divided by negative 3 is negative 4. And I'm going to flip the order and get negative 4x minus 5. Okay, negative 4x minus 5. All right, we're going to begin to work on the practice test. We're going to split it up into 2 days. We're going to do part of it today, and we're going to do part of it tomorrow. And because the test is 80 points.
Damn.
So this will be really good for you, or maybe not so good. I honestly think everybody can do well. I really do. The test, now here's what you got to understand. Hey, listen, Connor. This practice test we give you is going to be essentially the same as the test, but you're going to get different numbers. So if every problem you know how to do on here, you know how to do that on the test. Christian?
How much can this bring us down?
Not a lot.
80 for question.
If you bomb it, it can bring you down a lot.
Is the practice test for a grade?
Yes, it will be for a homework grade. Okay, homework grade for that one. Mr. Schur's going to take 4 or 5 of you, maybe 6 of you next door, so that we're going to split up a little bit. We're going to start it here and we'll go over to the grades. Go ahead and take these.
Paige, Austin, Jada, come with me. Joe, Chris, you want to come with me?
Yeah.
Alright, Jalen, come with me. Yeah,
I take your
calculator, pencil. I got your practice test already. Dude, a separate piece of paper.
Hey, you do need a separate sheet of paper. We're going to start a couple things. I'm going to get you started over here.
Get all these great. Better write all the notes.
That week I walked over 100
What?
I walked over 101.
Separate sheet, separate sheet. Separate sheet. Separate sheet.
That's insane. What's the part I found this where?
Oh, you can. Josh, sheet. All right, now don't get too far ahead of me because we're gonna do a couple things. First. Not doing that, not doing that. Okay. I'm not gonna count this as a double assignment because I'm not gonna have you do the whole thing. I'll show you what's going on here. What I want you to do is we're gonna do number 25 first. We're gonna start with the very last one. Okay, so just write down, don't write down the problem, but just put number 25 down at the top of your paper. Mr. Nealon. Yes, he left. Probably about 3 or 4. Yep. Okay, so we're gonna do 25, because I just wanna make sure everybody sees this and everybody does it right as we go through here. It says, for the following equation, 4x plus 12 equals 7x minus 6. Sally got an answer of x equals -6. Explain and show how another student can verify whether her answer is correct without solving the equation. I don't want you to solve it. How can you tell me, figure out whether her answer is correct? Okay, Brett. Plug it in. Plug, and here's what you need to say. You gotta say, plug x equals -6 into the equation. And see if it's right. Now, you actually have to do that. Because as it says, explain and show. So you have to show me this. And then 4x plus 12 equals 7x minus 6. Okay, 4x plus 12 equals 7x minus 6. And take x equals -6 and plug it in for each one. And so it's 4 times -6 plus 12. And I'm going to work with that entire left-hand side. I'm not even going to worry about the right-hand side first. You'll use your calculator. That's absolutely fine. And what is that? What do I end up with at the end? Connor?
-12.
So I get -12. So if the other side is -12, I know we're right. Okay, if it's not -12, then Sally's wrong. 7 times -6 minus 6. And what I'm looking for is all of this work. Well, what does that end up equaling? 7 times -6 minus 6. Evan?
-48.
-48. So right there, what can you tell me? That x equals -6 is not the answer. Okay, so x equals, I don't really care what the answer is. I don't care. The problem doesn't ask for it. We're done. So x equals -6 is not the answer. Okay, not the answer. All right, here's what I want you to do is you're gonna do the odds right now. Don't worry about it, just number 1 and then do them on that separate sheet. You do not need to write your answers on the original. Okay, you do not need to. I'm going to put a couple answer keys up here. So when you get done with maybe 3 or 4 of them, you want to check. I'll put an answer key over here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to call a few of you up and go over your grades. Eventually I want to get to everybody, but I don't think I'll get to everybody today. Kind of see where you're at. I'll put an answer key up here. And whoops. And the answer key up here. Alright, so remember, what are we doing? We are doing the odds. So 1, 3, 5. Connor.
Just set up number 1.
Number 1, first thing you need to do is solve for x. So 3x equals 21. Okay. Solve for x by dividing by 3. You get x equals 7, but what's it want to know? It wants to know the value. 25 minus 4x, take that 7 and plug it in for x. And your final answer should be -3. Final answer should be -3.